Good afternoon, YouTube. Byron at Splitting Slices. Welcome back to the channel. It is February 18th, 2025, and therefore we're going to do a 2 for Tuesday video. Now, this is an open tag response series that was started by Tom over at Knife Delights. Go check his channel out if you've never gone to visit. He is a buck knife collector, talks a lot about his buck knives, as well as does knife restorations on just about everything known to man. So if you're interested in that type of content, go check him out. I recommend his channel highly. So let's talk about today two of my very special, in fact, my two favorite Swiss Army knives that I have in my collection. I know these have been on the channel before, but I don't think I've done a 2 for Tuesday video on them. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about them today. Now, the first knife is a single layered, 2-tool, Alox scaled aluminum knife with stainless steel blades. This is called the Victorinox Swiss Army 2. Now, this knife is very difficult to get in the States, and it may have been discontinued within the last year. It is a single layer, tool knife. It has 2 blades only. The first is the spear point, and the second is this little pruner or half-hawk blade, as we call it in the States. And this is my favorite summer carry. It is a very light knife. It only weighs 1.6 ounces or 47 grams. It is a 93 millimeter knife, and that the overall closed length of the knife is 93 millimeters, and is just an exceptional carry. With the fact that it's aluminum and all stainless construction, it can get wet easily. Unfortunately, I did run this knife through the wash once and came out spotless. So I learned from that, and this one gets special care and consideration when I carry it. But this is just a great knife to carry in the summer in shorts, and it's just an exceptional handy knife, or basically a secondary carry when I need a knife. So the Swiss Army 2 with Victorinox Alox scales. The second knife is a favorite of mine, and probably my favorite of the collection as far as Victorinox. This is a very special knife. Now, while I carry the Alox Swiss Army 2 many times during the summer, I only put this one in my pocket for special occasions or when I want to talk knives with collectors or enthusiasts, because it is just an exceptional but discontinued model for Victorinox. This is the Sportsman, an 84 millimeter overall length knife, and therefore the 84 millimeter series. It has a total of 2 layers, both side A and side B. And if my count is correct, it has 9 or 11, however you want to look at it, separate tools. And we're going to go through them here in a second. So the first one is the bottle opener with the large flat screwdriver. The second one is the combination can opener with small screwdriver. You have the file blade, which is the old style file. And finally, you have the main spear point blade. And if you notice, this blade has been acid etched and stonewashed custom and has a logo. And that was the custom maker who retroed this knife and made it a custom. And we'll talk about that gentleman in just a second. So here is the main blade. Now, if we turn the knife over, you can see it has a side B, and the 2 tools that are in this side are the corkscrew, which has not been acid etched, but probably would have been very difficult. And finally, the awl, or sewing needle. And the final 3 tools then are the tweezers, the keyring, which I think actually Swiss Army and Victorinox considers this a tool, and then the tweezers. So a total of 9 or 11 tools if you count the screwdriver heads as separate, and is just a fantastic carry. Now, this has been customized, and let's pull out that main blade again and take a look, by Daniel Bridge of Bladebridge-customized over in England. This is his logo that he has lasered into the blade, and then given all 4 of the tools on this side of the knife an acid stone-washed etch. And I think they just look fantastic. Combine those darker looking tools now with the brass liners that he has installed in this knife, and this one makes it a one-off. In fact, I think Daniel did this as one of his first knives and carried this and kept this in his shop as a work knife for many years before he decided to give this away on the Slippy and Thrifty show. Now, this was back on September 3rd, 2023. So I've had this knife now for a year and a half, and it's just been fantastic. Love to carry this. I've carried this to a couple funerals, a couple weddings, and actually pulled it out of my pocket and talked knives with a couple guys at both those events. So this is the Victorinox Sportsman, 84 millimeter, 2-layered knife, weighs 73 grams or 2.6 ounces, and is just a fantastic knife. Now, not only is this a custom knife, but honestly, this is kind of a sentimental knife for me for kind of an odd, but certainly a unique reason. When I won this on the Labor Day weekend of 2023, I think the show was on September 3rd, but I had lost due to just old age and honestly, I believe it was cancer, my favorite musician of all time, and that was Jimmy Buffett. Saw many of his shows, have most of his albums either on tape or CD or vinyl even on some of them, and just was my favorite musician of all time. Loved the carefree attitude, loved the Caribbean rock and roll soul that he brought to the industry, and it was a tough weekend. He had died that previous Friday on the weekend, and then I wasn't even going to watch the Slippy and Thrifty show. It was, I think, episode 15 of their live stream, and I said, what the heck, I got to run some errands, I might as well turn something on. So I turned on the show, and within 5 minutes, Daniel was discussing some of his other knives and said that he was going to go ahead and put this one up for giveaway, and darn if I didn't win it. So, Daniel, I want to thank you very much for a pick-me-up on a weekend that really was, for all intents and purposes, a blown holiday weekend. You kind of lifted my spirits, and Thrifty and Slippy did too. So, guys, I do appreciate this. It is definitely a knife that will stay in my collection, and is one that I take great care in for a couple different reasons. All of them special. So, guys, that's it for today. This is Byron for Splitting Slices, saying split a slice with a friend soon. And until the next video, I hope everyone takes care. Bye.